Surprise, mother.
Christina.
What do you think? Okay,
Yeah,
I just want...
that was great.
Okay. Just in case my mom's listening, which is possible, I want you to know I did not say that word. I would never say that word. I used a different word after mother that they're going to bleep, so it sounds like I said the word, but I did not. I just had to keep the joke going from last year because, surprise! Welcome to episode number 150 of the Board Game Barrage podcast. We weren't supposed to do an episode, and here we are doing an episode just like last year. I'm here this year with my co-hosts, Kellen the Red Tank, Neil the Orange Tank, and Mark the Green Tank.
Here we go.
Hello. We're back.
Hello.
I just don't understand why I wasn't part of this episode last year, aside from my lack of profanity. Aside from that, I'm the resident bird expert, so I don't know why you didn't invite me to that.
We were worried you were going to overshadow us.
Oh,
we didn't want to
I
have
see.
the bird expert on, because then, your list would be the correct one and ours would just be garbage. So
Right.
we were
Well,
afraid. We were afraid, Christina.
now you know what to expect for today's episode, everyone, friends, listeners. We are here because it's Thanksgiving, and we want to show our thanks for all of our listeners by bringing you what you've come to
Stuffing
expect.
isn't the only thing you're going to be shoving into your
Ears?
mouth holes.
What you've come to expect from the Board Game Barrage folks, and that's, very high quality journalism, very objective opinions on everything, but specifically, the games that you should like, the games that you should hate, how many games you should have in your closet. We have those opinions for you.
And this may be the most objectively correct episode because we've saved it all for this big episode 150. So this is it.
150.
And we sort of had this topic and we've been sitting on it for the right time.
Yep. Saved it up.
Now's that time. So today, a little bit different than last year, we're updating our format, updating our lists. It's all updated editions.
A lot of changes in the bird game.
Got to keep it fresh.
That's right. This year, we are bringing you our top 3 bird games of all time.
Stakes got higher. Only 3
Top 3. Only
games.
3.
This is a list about chickens. What?
All right, with that, I'm just going to jump right in. My number 3 game, bird game, of all time is so obvious that I shouldn't even have to say it. It's on all of your lists already, I'm sure. It's going to be a triple crossover. And that is our favorite game of all time, Marco Pollo. And this is the Sultry Poultry
We can't
edition.
start with this. What?
No, perfect. It's great.
Sultry Poultry Edition.
Yeah. You might remember Neelan created Marco Pollo, but this is the real Marco Pollo Sultry Poultry edition. So it's great. You should go buy it immediately for everyone on your Christmas list. And that's all. That's my entire list. What's on your list?
Wait, what? I don't even get it.
You don't get it?
Well, I mean, I get the Pollo part, but that was Neelan's joke.
Yeah.
You added sultry poultry?
Yeah.
What?
She just improved on Neelan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Marco Pollo 3, Sultry Poultry.
Exactly.
It's agree and amplify. It's classic improv, Kellen. Don't you get it? Oh.
So yeah, that's my number 3. Kellen, why don't you bring us your number 3 game?
So my number 3 best bird game of all time is actually a little controversial among the Board Game Barrage podcast. That is the Oink Classic Startups. Startups features a company in it called Flamingo Soft. Flamingos are a bird, ergo it qualifies for this list. But if you look at the pictogram on the card and you think about Flamingo Soft, you realize that it might actually be a different type of company.
What kind of company do you think?
A safe sex company.
What do you
Condom
mean?
manufacturer.
Flamingo Soft, and I did confirm this with the rep at the Oink Games booth. So the third best bird board game of all time is Startups by Oink Games.
I have a good idea. We should get into our method by saying bird board over and over at the same time. Okay, ready?
Bird board.
No, at the same time.
Oh, no,
Ready?
I
3, 2, 1. Bird board, 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 bird board. Okay, I think we're ready.
Yep. Okay. Perfect.
Go ahead, Kellen.
And I just want to say that is fake news I am not confirming that Oink Games confirmed that corroboration. This is as wrong as I was about Rurik.
All right. Thanks, Kellen. How about you, Neelan? What's your number 3?
My number 3, so I decided to revamp my entire list this year. It's all new games. We're going to keep this thing exciting, keep it soaring. We're coming in at number 3 with New York Zoo, which also features flamingos, double flamingo feature. You know, that's...
Back to back.
Yeah,
Back-to-back
back-to-back flamingos, BFFs.
But nothing sexual.
Double feature. No problems.
Definitely nothing sexual there, Kellen. Unless they're going to Flamingo Soft. But in New York Zoo...
Wait, what if there's 2 of them?
Yeah, there's breeding. There's flamingo
There
breeding
is
in New York
breeding.
Zoo.
Yeah, there's
But
plenty
it's Uwe
sexual.
breeding.
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear. Like, this is a game with breeding flamingos. It is
Isn't that an Uwe classic? That's
animals
gotta-
breeding. It's Uwe written all over it. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
it's got to be part of the game.
it's his weird little thing.
His trademark.
Yeah.
And fetish.
Can you help us with the math, Neelan?
Say that again,
So
Kellen?
2 flamingos, how many flamingos does that make?
Yeah, 2 flamingos equals 1 offspring. 5 flamingos equals 1 offspring. Doesn't matter how many flamingos are in that cage. They're just making 1 baby. That's nature. That is my number 3 game, New York
And
Zoo.
that's science from Neelan.
It's Neelan Science Corner.
All right, Mark, bring us home with
All right.
your number 3.
So unlike Neelan, I didn't revamp my list. I didn't wipe the slate clean. All my games are fighting it out because this is a best of all time list. So you might say it's like a cockfight. These are bird games fighting it out. So
You might say, all of my cocks are fighting.
you might say that. I wouldn't say that, but you might say that. So my number 3 best bird game of all time. So we have established last year that acrobats are the birds of the human race. That's established. That's canon. We got
Fact.
that.
100%.
But I'm sad to say that Meeple Circus fell off the list,
It tumbled.
but rising 51 spots in the best bird game of all time list is Hang On Harvey. Yes, Neelan brought it in,
Oh, that is a good inclusion.
and the
Oh,
acrobats are
yeah.
back.
That is
Acrobats
fantastic.
are the birds of the human race, and they have brought it with Hang On Harvey. This is a game from, I don't know, 50s, 60s.
A
Neelan
billion
was a young
years
lad
ago,
when it came out.
basically.
Yeah.
You're telling you're telling me, Mark, sorry, I have to call BS here. You're telling me that if a young mother came to you
Yes.
and said, you know, I want to buy games for my family,
Yeah.
you know, only bird games,
Right.
only bird games in order, 1, you know, we don't have your 1 and 2, but
Right.
the third game that you would suggest for that young mom,
Yes.
Hang On Harvey.
Okay, first of all, young moms come to me all the time asking about bird games. So this is not a hypothetical for me. This is the real thing, real life to me, okay? And I would tell her, when you think about birds, as I said last year, you have to think outside the box because it's not just the birds like with wings. It's like, what's the essence of a bird? You know, it's grace. It's soaring. It's flying through the air. And what does that when it comes to the human population more than
Astronauts.
an acrobat? No. There's
Pilots.
There's no grace in a big astronaut suit.
Ballerinas.
Yeah, are you telling me, Kellen, that you would tell a young mother if she came up to you to play startups instead of
Yeah.
Hang On Harvey with her babies?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Her babies want to grow up to be acrobats.
Maybe
not
if she
birds.
wouldn't, if she would have used startup, she wouldn't have so many babies.
So number 3 bird game of all time is Hang On Harvey.
And it's going to hang on that list forever, I
That's
think.
right. Absolutely.
That's right, Mark. I was trying to do like the anchor
The
on
radio,
the TV
yeah,
voice,
yeah.
you know, the like, that's a big storm a coming, ain't that, Mark?
And
You know
now
what I
back
mean?
to you.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 2 bird game of all time. Let me read you the description and see if you can guess the game. Help these lazy sloths get around the resort by hitching rides on other animals. Any guesses?
Gloomhaven.
You need it-
Gulo Gulo.
I'm very excited for the proof of how sloths are actually birds. So
Okay, well, I don't know if you heard my description.
I
but
didn't.
this is
I
the game.
stopped.
This is a game called Fast Sloths. It's a
Okay.
wonderful game.
Great.
And one of the best, most fun parts of this game is when you get enough eagle cards,
That's right.
and that eagle can come and pick you up and fly you around the board and drop you off exactly sometimes where you want to go.
Exactly. Sometimes.
I know how to
And-
use the Eagle card so well that I cheated with it on game night. You can find that on video. Confirmed.
Yeah, so if you want to learn how to know more about eagles, just watch that video or call Kellen. He'll tell you
What?
about the eagles, how to use an eagle in real life. That's my number 2. Kellen, what's your number 2?
I think that we need to use the young mother as a proof for every item on the list.
Oh, I should say something about the young mother.
Well,
Okay.
when she says, "But Christina, this game is called Fast Sloths," and there's a giant ass sloth on the cover, you would say,
Oh, that's what the young mother's saying to me?
"Yeah."
Oh, young mother. I think that you're right. There is a big old fat, lazy, cute, smiling sloth on the cover of this game. One, it's going to teach your child not to be lazy because these sloths might seem lazy, but they're actually very determined to get where they're going. They just need a little help. So this game will teach your child a lot about perseverance, about teamwork, about all that stuff children need to learn. Anyways, it's better than startups. You don't want to teach your child about condoms. I want to say, though, it's probably equally good for your child as Hang On Harvey. But, well, because yours is 3 and mine's 2. So this is probably a little better. But anyways, Kellen, can you just do your number 2, please?
Yes. So my number 2 best bird game of all time has fallen from last year when it was the number 1 best bird board game of all time. This is everyone's favorite bird, objectively speaking, the penguin. Okay? These little guys cannot fly. They do not have the grace of an acrobat, but they can attend public school like they do in the game ICECOOL. Is that a pun?
It's a pun on the
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
And, like,
Do you realize
Oh,
that
no.
you said it?
I don't, but that, no.
Yes.
We
I've
can't.
been there the whole time, Kellen.
I think this makes a good argument for the young mother. Young mother loves puns.
Yeah, young mother's going to love ICECOOL. You guys are suggesting these reject games.
Excuse me? Do you want to say that to Friedman Friese's face?
I think that's his next game, actually. Friedman Freeze of Face.
We have to pretend to give the people relevant content, okay? ICECOOL is a good bird board game. Perhaps the best, maybe the best, probably the best bird board game.
And actually, ICECOOL was your number 5 bird game of all time. So it's actually gone up on your list.
Moved up.
Oh, I was looking at my list backwards.
Just keep all of this.
That's great.
yeah.
So the penguins have risen.
Penguins in New York Zoo as well, for what it's worth.
There you go.
2 lots of birds. I didn't even remember that.
Oh, you didn't?
Penguins and flamingos.
They're both in there.
Yeah.
It's double birds.
So you and Kellen have double features
Exactly.
twice. Flamingo double
Your bird
feature?
bros.
It's a
Bird
Kellen, Nealon, Kellen
Bird
bird
bros,
sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 2 game.
Wait.
I'm sorry, Christina, did you want to?
Yeah, Christina. You're the anchor.
Nealon, please bring us some reason. Give us your number 2 game.
My number 2 game is an expansion that came out this year. A very birdy expansion indeed for a game that was on my list last year. This is the Root Underworld expansion featuring the Corvids, a very fun faction that are new to Root this year. They're a lot of fun. They sort of vary up the play in a lot of ways. Haven't actually played with them, but I'm sure they're cool. I like the moles a lot. So if the crows are anything like the moles, you know, the birds of the underground, then
I feel like you should get like a cut of this because on this very list last year, you said that Root should just release a bunch of bird expansions. And
Yeah.
sure enough, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
if anything, I
Yeah.
gave them the idea. Like, they listened to our best episode from last year, the Thanksgiving bird game episode, and were like, we
Yeah.
need to get in on that. Bird expansions all the time. I fully expect to see the flamingo and penguin expansions for Root next year. And that's my number 2.
Nealon speaks things into being. That's all it takes.
Beautiful. Kellen, do your young mother voice for him.
Hello, Nealon.
An old lady. Try again.
I have many children.
Wait, is that you, Sandra?
What?
Oh, this is one of your ladies,
Yes.
Nealon? She's a young mother because of you. Thank you for bringing the people the expansion they wanted to see, Neelan. That's very kind of you. Mark, what is your number 2 bird board game of all time?
All right. My number 2 is a new entry to the list, and it was an oversight. Although, I guess there's reasons why we didn't have it last year, but this arguably could be number 1. And so I think everybody knows the game I'm talking about. Elizabeth Hargreaves' Mariposas. So, yes.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Monarch butterflies are the birds of the insect race.
It's often said.
You know, this game took the world by storm. AEG's biggest release. I actually have not played it, but it's just such an obvious choice that I had to have it as the number 2 bird game of all time. Mariposas.
I think that's a very good choice. And I want to say that a runner-up on my list was actually another game by Elizabeth Hargreaves. And it's just so good. I like it more than Kellen. But this is a game called Tussie Mussie.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have played it, but it's technically there are flowers. But what do flowers need?
They need birds.
Birds and bees.
Birds and bees. Okay, right. Exactly. Yes.
Anyways, but it's not on my list. So I will move on to my actual number 1 bird board game of all time. And to some listeners, this will be a given. And maybe to you all, this will be a given. It is Fafnir, the best oink game of all time. If you haven't played this yet, and have you talked about this, Kellen?
Yeah.
This is actually a serious one for me. I love this game.
What
It's
do you mean?
my-
What do you mean that's a serious one? Well, this is
yeah,
serious for everything. This is all
well,
serious.
that's true. You're right.
This
They're
is our
all
most
serious.
stone cold sober episode.
Very serious. I'm only on the serious episodes. That's my thing. I am very serious. And Fafnir is very serious. Fafnir is a chicken that lays eggs, and you're collecting those egg/gemstones. And the other bird associated part of this game is that Fafnir is a dragon god. So,
Ergo.
Yeah.
ergo, best bird board game of all time. And best oink game of all time. If so, check it out. It's great. Kellen.
Fafnir is adorable. I will say, from a production standpoint, Fafnir may be number 1. Though I don't get the subtitle, Trash Bin and Cash In.
How could you not get that? You
Yeah.
clearly haven't played enough.
Trash bin and cash
And
in.
cash in.
Yeah.
And the Dragon Association there, too, is very clever. All right, Kellen, tell us your number 1 bird board game of all time.
All right. The moment we've all been waiting for in the episode, the best bird board game of all time. Some may say that we here on Board Game Barrage do not focus on enough collectible card games, but I just wanted to let you all know that there are over 80 Pokemon that are birds. And I
here it
will read
comes.
them to you now.
Here it comes.
In alphabetical order. Altaria, Arcan, Archaeops, Aramotis, Articuno, Blaziken, Bravery,
I'm going to get a
Chatot-
drink.
Uh-huh.
I'll see you in about
Tumbuskin.
10
I'm
minutes.
gonna-
Corviknight,
bathroom break,
Corvisquire,
BRB.
Cramorant, Cresselia,
Cramorant.
Dartrix, Decidueye, Delibird, the Christmas Pokemon, Dodrio, Doduo, Ducklet, Eeskew, Empoleon, Farfetch'd, Fearow, Fletchinder, Fletchling, Hachuka, Ho-Oh,
Halucha.
Honchro, Hoot Hoot, Latias, Latios, Lugia, Magby, Magbar, Mandibuzz, Moltres, Murkrow, Natu, Noctowl, Oricorio,
All right, I'm back. Are we still doing this?
All right.
Pelipper,
well, Kellen
Pidgeot,
continues.
Pidgeotto, Pidgey, Pidove, Pickapek, Piplup, Porygon, Porygon Z, Porygon 2, Prinplup, Rookidee, Rowlet, Rufflet, Siglif. That one sounds like a disease. Sirfetch'd, Skarmory, Spearow, Spritzy, Staraptor, Staravia, Starly, Swablu, Swanu, Swellow,
Isn't
Halo,
Staravia a sugar substitute?
Talonflame, Tapu Koko, Togekiss, Togepi, Togetic, Torchic, Tornadus, Toucanon.
That was
I like,
clever.
I like him, yeah. Tranquil, Trumbeak, Unzenfont, Volibee, Wingle, Zatu, Yettal, and Zapdos. And we actually, and Zapdos has a new form.
Oh,
if you have only
save that
seen
for next
him
year.
in his lightning form, he now has a fighting form where he runs on the ground and has changed colors, and he is awesome.
Thank you, Kellen. That is Kellen's number one bird board game of all time. All right, Neelan. Save the day.
My number one bird game, in an attempt to broaden our audience, I've partnered with the kind people that say very wrong about games, and this game comes so kindly from them, is Looping Louie. It should have been in our list all along.
Oh my God.
This is the
You
best
have
game
got
ever
to
made.
be
This is the best bird
kidding
game
me.
ever made.
God.
You are rescuing those chickens. Mark Bigney, he and I, we have made a pact on this day, and
You've embraced one mark but stabbed another in the
that,
back.
as it was, the best mark will prevail.
So wait, who are you having a cockfight with?
The two marks.
Me.
It's a mark fight.
Yeah,
The marks are fighting, yeah.
This is it. That's all there is to say about Looping Louie. Just keep hitting that button and saving those chickens. Just keep doing that.
I think, didn't we decide that Mark Bigney must have modded this game to put like an engine on it so that it could actually be fun?
I know he plays with tournament rules or something, some special thing. I mean, the only way that this game is even passable is if you like are
Added an
adjusting it to
hyper
the
turbo engine.
Yeah, exactly.
I have 2 sets of this so that you can play it 8 players.
Ooh.
When's the last time you played it? That's what I thought. So,
Okay, are you insensitive to COVID?
am I insensitive to COVID? I ranked every single bird game. That's why I can tell you that Hang on Harvey rose 51 spots, and Loopin' Louie is dead last.
Wow.
Even the Pokemon trading card game.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, all right. Well, that was disappointing. Mark, can
All
you
right.
save us?
I can, because Loopin' Louie may have been last, but I crunched the numbers, and this is the best bird board game of all time. As we've established last year.
Sorry.
Was that an intentional? Can you sneeze
I just sneezed. I'm so sorry.
on cue?
I'm so sorry. I just felt it welling up in me.
Okay, like the canon we established last year with acrobats being the birds of the human race, we've also established that monks are the birds of human professions in the way that they care for their young, and therefore, the number one bird board game of all time is Biblios. Stunned silence. Exactly. Biblios is the greatest bird game of all time.
What is your
It's
royalty
held on.
for saying the word
It's held
Biblios on this podcast?
For a year. It's taken on all comers, and yet there it is. Number one, mathematically proven. I can send you the equation. Email me at
mark@fingames.com.
That's right. And that's it. That does it. That wraps us up.
Are
The
we sure?
final word is the truest word.
Well, let's just remember that mine was Fafnir.
It
What
had
was
a
yours
bird
again,
on it.
Kellen?
The Pokemon
Oh,
trading
yeah.
card game, which features over 80
All right,
species
well, let's
of Pokemon
just remember that
birds.
one of us had a good list. And that's going to do it for episode number 150. Thank you all for listening, and we hope you all have a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one.
Eat your ghost turkeys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, but in all seriousness, are we really not going to talk at all about Wingspan?
I'm ready. I want you to save me from myself, baby.
All right, you ready, Kellen?
Yeah.
You're okay with me hosting?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was that method acting shining through there.
Okay. So, does this happen after the theme music or before? I just got to get in the right mental.
Bow down, 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 down.
Keep going,
Say
Kellen.
the
I got-
truth is number one stopper. They say something, but you never want to speak up. They say hi, now you want to speak up. What's on your mind, kid? What's on your mind, kid?
Surprise, motherfathers! All I'm saying is none of that was part of the original description because I got that story first. So I don't know. I just want to say, don't trust anything Kellen says.
This is a Thanksgiving spectacular.
Well, none of that is going to be on the episode because one, copyright infringement, and two, that's horrific. I'm never saying that on air, so it's not
Well,
happening.
you just gave it to Mark. He's gonna record. He's got
He's
it.
not.
It's gotta get
He's
the
not going to
outro.
use that.
Can't just wipe the slate clean and just
Cock
put it on your games.
I did not wipe the slate.
So actually,
clean. These games
it sort of
extend.
invalidates.
Dylan?
I feel like that. What?
Wait, he's just like talking, and Christina's like, cockfights, by the way. Like, what is that?
Because he's talking about his games had to fight it out.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like mid-sentence, and you're like back here.
I was giving him a joke. I was giving him the joke.
Okay.
I was giving him the joke, Mark. That's a
does-
good joke because
That is a
they're
good joke.
They're
That is a
fighting
good
each
joke.
other. And
Yeah, no, I got you.
Okay,
I'll use it. I'll use it.
Start
Take two.
over.
Take two.
Start over. Okay.
So unlike Neelan,